Hello everyone, my name is MansaMusa and welcome back to my channel, and today we have a very special match for you guys. We have a normal replay analysis video, but instead of it just being a single commentary this time, today we have both myself and Humita. And that is for a very special reason. This match actually took place against JTQWN, and it took place because we wanted to have him on the podcast we do, the Commentator podcast. If you missed any of the episodes, check it out up top. But me and Humita do this podcast together where we talk to various influential figures within the Advanced Words by Web community, and we wanted to have JTQWN on the podcast for the next episode, but he kind of threw a bit of a hurdle in our path, as opposed to some of the other people we've had on the podcast. JTQWN said that we first had to beat him in a match if we wanted to have him on. So that led to the genesis of this match. So this is a 2v2 match, which is something that's very crazy, something that I don't have a lot of experience with, Humita doesn't have a lot of experience with, and neither did JTQWN. And it's also a tag match, so everyone is definitely out of their element here, but it led to a very exciting match, a very crazy match, and one that not only did I want to cast for my channel, but I wanted to have Humita on as well to talk about this game. So Humita, before we go kind of diving into a lot of the depths of this match, did you want to talk about anything either related to kind of our CO picks or some of your thoughts that go into that, or anything about the map itself?
Well, I guess map itself, I was actually really surprised that he just threw this map together in, we don't really know how much time.
Yeah.
But it looked like a very decent 2v2 map, but yeah, base light 2v2 mixed kind of dynamic and very big and wide open.
Yeah.
I think initially I was thinking, okay, very wide open should mean very strong tanks and stuff. So, you know, max should be pretty good, or any like that with high mobility of tanks. Copters are very much in the corners, except the players in the sort of middle.
Yeah.
But I guess we can get into it later as we look into the match, because things were thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Well, what were you thinking about that map?
Yeah, I had a lot of the same thoughts. It was kind of a very interesting kind of fake HQ rush thing is the main thing I noticed. So you have, well, we'll talk about it from our perspective. So for myself and Humita are both blue and silver claw here. And kind of what I was thinking about is with this two base here and with the solo Humita base down here in the south east, along with my airport, you could put some pressure onto the mouth of JTQWN here, the orange player, and the base and airport combo here, because this is only a solo base. So that would be 3 bases in an airport going against the 1 base in the airport. But because of the mountainous terrain here and because of the relative closeness of this base to the HQ, it's actually much harder to try to go for that HQ than you would think. And we put a lot of pressure onto that in this match, but we're, you know, spoiler alert, we're not going to be able to flip it. I think that was part of the design of this map as well. It kind of leads you into attacking that area, but not necessarily fully getting it for free. The other main things I noticed about this map, something that we should mention that's important, we have these 4 labs here, kind of near the middle corner. These labs are actually pretty important because there was lab-restricted units, so both the Neo-Tank and the Bomber were stuck behind this lab. So if you wanted to build some really powerful punchy units, you needed to at least get one of these labs, and they're pretty contested, all 4 players having relative closeness to each of these different labs.
Yeah, I guess CO wise as well, there was something I can't believe. He said it was a tier 2 standard, and usually in teams all the global damage seals go up, but he left it as global damage. And so I remember just telling you, like, we need to go just double global damage or quadruple global damage.
Yeah.
And you were theory crafting about like going like Rachel and I don't know what else, which were all very interesting, or like combining a global damage and something else.
Yeah.
But we ended up just going both with the very dubious, well, not dubious in that it was the wrong, but it was like
no data days.
Yeah, I mean, it's like usually, I don't know, going global damage pick in global league and stuff is like boring, you know.
Yeah.
But here we went double global damage.
Yeah.
we really doubled down.
Went all in for the strategy. And that I remember. So I looked back because we were talking about this game in our DMs throughout this entire match, and I went back and looked at it, what our thought process was during this moment, and I was talking about, I think, Rachel, Andy, and Sammy. And Rachel and Andy, I think, were just kind of weaker picks here, but Sammy had some interesting ideas here. There's a lot of very contested properties on this map. We talked about the labs. There's a lot of central properties as well. This property here between the orange and blue player was highly contested in this match, where Sammy could have been very effective in terms of getting those early properties and then just swapping back to someone like Olaf. But ultimately, we decided against it. I think the main issue why is because Sammy's tanks are weaker, and this is a very tank-heavy, brawly map that's more open like you were talking about. You really don't want to stick as Sammy for very long, really basically only the capture phase. And Victory Rush can be an incredibly powerful superpower, obviously, but it's also another thing where you just have to time it right, because even with your Victory Rush turn, you want to make sure you're not putting, you know, a bunch of units out there and that are going to be weaker as well, because obviously that Victory Rush is going to come in later to the game. So we decided to go for the kind of quadruple global damage like you're talking about here. Yeah, with really just the main idea. There's actually some really devious ideas here too, because you can stack them up one on top of the other, so you can have the Olaf and then the Drake. And what you can get the best of both worlds with weather too, because if you're both on Olaf during the snow, you're not affected, and if you're both on Drake during the rain, you're not affected, and that's really going to hamper a lot of the movement, the gas, and obviously the health of all of JTQWN's units.
Yeah, to be fair to us, I know this is like, we did the shame pick of doubling down on all the damage, but to be fair to us, we really wanted to guarantee having JTQWN on the podcast. So we did it for you guys. We did it for the viewers. We did it so that we can get an episode with JTQWN. Yeah. And I'm actually really happy about that episode. So yeah, we did it for you guys. That's fine.
Yeah. I think JTQWN also knew this a little bit, because obviously he's the one who set the tiers. We weren't involved with the kind of the creation of this map at all. He made the map and then he chose the tiers, so he knew what he was doing by allowing the global damage COs into the pool.
Yeah.
All right, though. With all that being said, we have hyped up this game a lot. Let's head right into it, to the capture phases here for both players. So we start with the hand of JTQWN. We should talk, I guess, briefly about the 2v2 order. So how it's going to work is the hand of JTQWN is going to go first, then myself and Humita, and then the mouth. So you have that kind of AWBW order to not provide any advantage to one team. So yeah, I'll just kind of speed through here the early infantry capture days. Did you have anything that you thought was very important in your capture phase, or any decisions that you thought were interesting?
I think something interesting is that the red and blue players had the bases together.
Yeah.
And then the orange and the dinos were split. So in my case, it was super awkward because I could never, ever be able to combine my armies.
Yeah.
So it was a bit like, you know, you had the weaker player being the dinos and the amber blaze, and then the stronger ones were the ones in the middle. So the ones that could kind of dictate where the pressure was gonna be at.
Yeah.
So that felt really bad, because having one base, and it sucks. You have like no unit count.
Yeah, and no matter where you go too, right, you're in a disadvantaged position, right? Because if you go north, it's base and copter. If you go to the east, or sorry, if you go to the west, you have the two base, and the same sort of scenario here where you're heading into the two base here. This is kind of basically your only decent option, is going up here towards the base, but then there's still this red airport in the north. So really, your attacking options to go alone, if that is kind of the right wording there, are very minimal. Like, you have to meet up with me in some sort of group push if we're really going to put any pressure.
Yeah, and it's like, it was very base light, right? So you weren't going to have a lot of infantry on any front, and the distances are so far away, so it eventually became very complicated to be like, oh, how can I secure this city capture? Because you're only going to have like one, maybe two infantry for that city. So the interrupts became like really valuable, and as you're going to go for that city with a penguin over there, and easily Lash is going to try to stop that.
So this was, I paused here for a second, because this is the first main difference between the hand of JTQWN and myself. So obviously we're kind of the mirrored players. Hand of JTQWN has not gone for the city early. In fact, you have put your infantry out on the city early, so you're in full interrupt range of the city if you had went for it. I went here a bit earlier than the hand, so I'm forfeiting some of this middle pressure towards these two cities in the comm tower to try to get this city. And kind of my idea here is I could either build a tank or a recon coming up in some of my next turns and start this capture, even if it does get interrupted, hopefully apply enough pressure to get that capture through. and then essentially retreat that infantry and then protect this base. But this, protect this city. But this city is actually very annoying for me movement-wise. So you can see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away from this base, so 1 turn tank range. Whereas from this base, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So a tank from this base is not going to reach here in a single turn. So it's kind of going to be a little bit harder to defend, but it's also the main reason why I wanted to get it early, because if the Mouth of JTQWN gets this city, it's going to be even like 5 degrees harder for me to try to flip that city, and I probably never will. So I need to make sure that either I get the city or it stays neutral. So that's why I try to put some pressure here early on.
Yeah, you actually don't build any vehicle, and same thing for hand of JTQWN, because you're both left with 6k. So he could have made a tank, but he didn't, and you could have made an RD also.
Yeah.
To get that city, but you decided against it.
Yeah.
I guess because you're then delaying a bunch of captures, like that other chain, the one that you're pointing at.
These middle 2 ones are.
Yeah, because having 2 infantry from that base, you still have at least 1 more infantry that you need from that base for some captures. But the already would have guaranteed that you get that city that's contested with orange.
Yeah, I think maybe already was the play there. I think I was slightly concerned about where the pressure is going to come from, because if I commit an already 1 location, then I might be forfeiting a lot of this corner city area. If he invested, especially with something like a recon, it can be very annoying. And I knew that this part of the map was going to be very crucial for my strategy. Getting the comm tower, obviously, but just putting a lot of infantry pressure here towards this base, because if you can put an infantry here with an artillery behind, you completely choke off this area, and can make it very awkward for the Mouth of JTQWN. The other thing that's important that we talked about here in this kind of central capture phase is this infantry wants to go across like this to the comm tower and then to the city. It's great chaining. And then this other one, this new one I'm going to build, probably is going to want to come down to this city and then get this city after that, and then apply pressure on this city further down the line. But there is going to be kind of an annoyance that we're going to get to here in a little bit, where it's going to be, how do you capture this city that's stuck in the mountains, especially when there's going to be pressure from battlecopters coming on later on. So we'll address that here in a little bit in the turn order. But yeah, this city was definitely an annoyance for us in this match. All right, Humita, I was kind of wondering at this point in the game, what area are you trying to pressure, and what do you think your first unit is going to be? Like, are you going to try to pressure this bottom right area, or more of the corner, comm tower, and city area?
So, I think I kind of remember what I was thinking at the time, and seeing that everyone was skipping vehicles. Well, especially JTQWN, who here has to be the aggro run. I remember being like, you know what? Sure, let's make more infantry, right? Like we're the ones that are more chill. He's the one on the like the one that has to put all the pressure.
Right.
We can just keep matching infantry and kind of have that more economic approach. If we get into like 16k, and then we can just respond to a tank of his with a medium tank, then we're gonna be fine. So the more unit count, the better for us. So I remember being very chill about that aspect. But an already here from that bottom right would have been nice to lock down the city. Like same thing that you could have done up there.
Yeah.
But I believe I don't do that.
Yeah, too.
Might have been. Yeah, I think I wanted an extra infantry because I'm gonna be sending one to the comm tower and then need another one to go down south.
Yeah.
So I just needed that 4th infantry, maybe even a 5th one to go for the other city that's like surrounded by plains. It's that thing of like being so just there's so few infantry and too many cities to go capture, so you are kind of forced to not build vehicles just straight away.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we were conceding the tempo to him, so there's a bit of a pro and con there.
Yeah, and I think you can take from your opponents as well, obviously. So obviously JTQWN's the one who created this map, and if we talked about previously, who has to be the aggressor versus who can be the defender. Obviously he has Eagle, who's probably the least aggressive CO in this entire game. But on a whole, because we have global damage, because we have no day-to-day, whereas he has Max and Lash, who are obviously going to be very high day-to-day COs, I think we were definitely more fine chilling out and not pushing the boundary. I think that the onus was kind of on JTQWN there. So the fact that he was also skipping vehicles, and like you can see the hand of JTQWN here, could have built a tank on the previous turn, did not, was also going for infantry. I think that kind of gave us the green light to do the same, because if anything, we should be the ones who were building those vehicles later on, and we're already seeing JTQWN not doing that in the early part of the game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we can always match whatever he makes, right? Like he makes a tank in a certain base. Okay, we match that tank, so we can play more defensively and more reactively. It's not the ideal, but it still kind of plays into our hand a little bit.
Yeah. We have the first big decision here of the game from the mouth of JTQWN. So we had this imagery capture that we were talking about in the north here. And the mouth of JTQWN here has to decide whether he wants to finish this gap and let me get the city, or whether he wants to interrupt. And he goes for the interrupt, so he stops his own capture to interrupt the city, and it does make sense to me. Obviously, this next imagery is going to do basically the same thing, capture the city, and also put in range to further interrupt. But it does deny some income for both of us, essentially. It's making us both poor. He's not getting this income, I'm not getting this income. And yeah, this is kind of an interesting strategic point, right? Because obviously I can bring my imagery as well, and we can just keep on doing this ad nauseum, where we're just making sure both of these cities are never being captured and just chaining into each other. I obviously have the better terrain for all of those engagements. So it's kind of an interesting little dynamic there. What are your kind of thoughts about both this move, him attacking my city, and then...
I was wondering, why did he send that other penguin down south instead of supporting that penguin capture?
This one? Or this one that went up there?
No. Because the one that went south, that's on the road to go for like maybe the com tower or the middle caps. That guy could have gone towards that city to support the capture. I don't know if he would have done that if he would have still interrupted. Maybe he still would have, because he's Lash, he wants to keep us lower in income.
Yeah.
But the fact that he didn't, I think, gave him the green light to just go and interrupt, because there wasn't going to be a strong retaliation, I guess.
Right. At least for this turn. I think my main consideration here is I wanted to get some of the central cities before his units gave apply pressure. So you can see, obviously, he's already ahead of me on these captures. He's skipped the com tower. He's going for this city and then this city as well. I think he's actually probably going to get this city first, then go across the river, get this city, and then like this. And I was just concerned about pressure of tanks, because obviously this is relatively easy to get through, and then some of these infantry locking down these cities indefinitely before I could really get to them. And I also thought there was maybe a universe where he just captures here and I capture here, and we just kind of handshake there. But obviously with kind of, him wanting to be more aggressive and this infantry one turn back on the city, it is probably not going to do that. But yeah, a very, very little interesting back and forth there. And I do think I'm going to send this next infantry to essentially do the same thing, put it out here, and go for that engagement.
I guess the reason why he's ahead in the middle captures is because that infantry that he sent towards the middle is the one that he sent for that city that's fighting.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So a bit of a trade there.
Yeah. And I do think the hand of JTQWN's opener here is just slightly better than mine, because he's getting this income where I'm having to fight with the mouth. And also just kind of some of the chains here that we're going to see in the next few turns. And we do see here what I was talking about earlier. So we have the battlecopter coming in. This is going to put a lot of pressure on this top left area. And then also, if I don't get this city soon, this battlecopter can pretty much lock it down indefinitely. So that's going to be a major consideration for me coming up in the next couple turns.
Also, he got the lucky roll on that interrupt, the 7-6.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a com tower.
I was thinking that was a crazy roll when it happened. But yeah, I mean, sometimes that's just the reality of the situation. So I do get a nice counterattack here, 5-3, not going for the capture of the city, mainly just trying to weaken in his own stuff here. Obviously, he can pull this back and then kind of finish off my infantry with his on the city as well to interrupt his own cap again. We'll see if he goes for that. I build a battlecopter in response. I think the idea of this battlecopter was mainly just put pressure on this bottom right area for you, try to get the com tower, try to get some of these contested cities that we've been talking about.
Yeah. I guess now that I'm looking at it, why didn't you go for an anti-air at the top to respond to that copter?
I think the anti-air is a good idea, but I think the copter can really kind of move around in very annoying ways. So if I bring the anti-air, there's just a lot of force in this area. So if I bring it out this way, he can kind of send it to the north to attack you, and then I either have to come around this way where he could build a tank that really threatens that option, or have to send it all the way back through these forests and through these roads to kind of defend. So even though, like normally when you see a battlecopter have good movement options, it's around rivers and whatnot, or mountains that make it really annoying for the anti-air movement. This one, I guess the mountains are kind of playing a factor in there, but it's mainly the forests and the fact that I'd have to kind of cut through this very dangerous pass with potential tanks coming in to really threaten this battlecopter early on. So instead of
Yeah.
going for that, I basically just do the meter pressure and try to threaten this area as well.
You also don't send another infantry there to that capture.
Yeah, I did. So I think this was another big thing that I did on that previous turn. So you see, the Hand of JTQWN is getting this nice chain here of getting the comm tower and then the city as well. This infantry was actually the one on the city, and I'm forced to not go for this chain to try to get this city because I'm scared of this battlecopter coming out and interrupting it, like we talked about. So yeah, this is the point. At this day, I knew that my opener was definitely worse than Hand of JTQWN's. So I was a little bit concerned, but you know, you got to do what you have to do.
Well, to be fair, just naturally, red is gonna have TA against blue there.
Yeah.
Because it's the same player and there's no TA counter except just the order that we're playing in. So the fact that there is interaction between those two players, one is gonna have just natural TA.
Yeah.
Like your copter's not gonna answer that copter's all the way literally on the opposite side of the map.
About 10 days before those copters interact with each other.
Yeah. And the famous build here.
Yeah, we have some very unique Humita builds on this turn.
I was just rewatching this before we started recording. I was thinking like, why didn't I build a copter? Because I could put some pressure there and like defend your captures and like answer the red copter as well.
Yeah.
But I decided to go for a recon and a T copter. I think the recon, I can't remember exactly what it was for. I guess to like front switch through those shoals and kind of deny red, but also orange.
Yeah, the recon I think
there.
has great range, right? Because if this infantry goes to cap, obviously you can get a good engagement, and like we were talking about, a tank is not going to reach this city on the same turn, but it can also go to the north to threaten all these orange captures as well.
Yeah, I think that was the reason. And then the T copter, there was some. I think that was your idea, the T copter.
Yeah.
There was some boosties there that were nice on the next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was funny.
I think we put the T-copter right here, and then you bring the infantry out, put one infantry here, bring the other infantry here, place it on the mountain with a boosty, and then you get this city and the comm tower. So just some nice plays. And actually, this T-copter is going to become very clutch. There's a lot of very fun stuff that we do with this T-copter later on in the match. So.
That T-copter has its own adventure.
Yeah, for sure. So going in here for day 5 for the mouth, we have that battlecopter that we were talking about. He retreats his units. And we go here to day 6 for the Hand of JTQWN. Other really interesting dynamics that we have going on so far is we have these corner engagements. So when we were looking at this map, I had a feeling that blue was going to get a good amount of pressure in this corner. I thought maybe the mouth would get the port, and then I would kind of flip that a few turns later. That's kind of actually what we're seeing down here in y'all's corner, where you're going for kind of this aggressive cap of the port. But how this match turned out is really the corners became just the sole property of the 2-base side. I think you just had a lot of units flooding in, and this is actually kind of further away than you think from both this base and airport. But yeah, it was very interesting to see the dynamics of both corners in kind of the early part of this match.
Yeah, I don't remember if I... Oh, never mind. Yeah, I was thinking it was my turn. But no, he gets the comm tower.
You do have the option to fully capture this port. He didn't interrupt.
No, but this is his turn. So I guess he could have interrupted the port cap, but he decided to get the comm tower instead.
Yeah. And I think the reason why there is he just has the classic with the comm tower now 2-hit KO, and then he just recaptures the port if you do go for it. If you go for the cap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. And that's probably a good decision. I should probably not finish that port cap. I don't remember if I get it.
I have a vague remembrance, but yeah, it's actually very, very annoying here what he did. He realized he didn't have to go for the interrupts. He just gets the comm tower.
Isn't that annoying? I hate when you're trying to cap something and there's 2-3 freaking dudes pointing at you. It's like, let me finish this.
you just it feels a bit like damned if you do, damned if you don't, because like you've invested so much time and energy into getting this cap, and then basically the other players just being like, yeah, go ahead, cap it, see what happens. It's just like,
yeah. Go finish it. I'm gonna take out your guy and steal your CD too. Like, bro, come on.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
So I do back up this infantry here. I think obviously, so the copter was in range, and the other infantry, like, there's no point in even keeping that infantry there. I am going to get this Mountain City cap a turn before it was going to be interrupted. So obviously his next turn he could have been in here, and then he could have interrupted. So this was the actual pacing that I needed. Which is annoying, right? Because again, it broke up this chain that I wanted to go for. Yeah, but I also go for an anti-air up here in the north. I think main ideas here, it's kind of twofold. One, obviously, it threatens against this battlecopter, but also with no tank build over here on the right, I can also maybe threaten some of the infantry in this area and some of the caps. And then obviously I can move it to the center as well if he brings out the copter to the left as well.
Yeah, interesting that you didn't make it on the other base, which would have been closer to that red copter. You were kind of more invested in the corner, I guess.
Yeah, I think the idea there was that if I built it on this base, yes, it could pressure this area just like we were talking about, but also then I just kind of lower unit count towards the left side here. Obviously, the anti-air would also be a great idea to have on the left as well, but it just can't be in two places at once, right? So like an infantry here is just kind of less valuable than an infantry here. I think that was my idea. So you bring out the recon.
There goes the recon.
Yeah, and again, it's doing so much work, right? You're threatening this city, You're just putting a lot of pressure on this whole area, and no tank yet by anyone on the map. I guess we're really all deciding here that it's battlecopters and anti-airs for now, just because I think they have the most range.
Funny because you started the video saying that tanks were gonna be very good, and
yeah, we
no one
did
even
know
opened
that.
tanks.
We do see those T-copter boosties that we were talking about before. Very nice positioning here. It's going to make sure also you get all of this com tower in 2 cities before you even have the threat of being interrupted by either JTQWN, so very strong.
I think I could have finished that port cap and
you decided to back
made
up.
a tank, but I think I make a tank on the right. There's something, I think there's something funding wise. I think I wanted to make a copter. Yeah, that's why. I wanted to make a copter to answer the red copter, or else next turn it was going to be in position to hit my com tower cap or the other city. So I was forced to do that, because if not, I could have made a recon or a tank on that base and finished the port. So then if he goes for the double kill and capture, I can still stop the capture. But
yeah,
I prioritized the com tower.
Even if you get the tank here, it's not a full solution, right? Because obviously you would knock down the flipping infantry down to like 5 HP or something, but then he can combine, build his own tank. Like it's still not perfectly settled in the way that you would want it to be. With the tank build.
Yeah, that's true. Especially against Max.
Yeah.
It's like, with all those shoals.
That was one of the, I will say, that was one of the nice things here in this engagement. Obviously, so Max is the 2-player, has the 2 base here, which can be very threatening, obviously, with tanks coming out, but he does have the way worse airport. And to me, Max battlecopters are one of the most terrifying units in the entire game. So the fact that at least these weren't like the really bad battlecopters, and you have lash battlecopters, which you don't get any bonus, was very nice.
Yeah, that is true. I wonder if it would have played differently if the COs were swapped. Like if hand was orange and then mouth was in the red. Because then you have Max with that strong airport.
Yeah.
And like red having all the infantry kind of more together as lash, semi-eagle, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I definitely would have played a lot differently. So one of the things we're kind of already seeing this is the mouth is already switching from lash to eagle. I think that's basically just to get some charge and also to make this battlecopter more threatening, because obviously eagles battlecopters are stronger. But yeah, I feel like if that was flipped the opposite way, so if mouth was the red player, it would pretty much be lash. Feels like the vast majority of the time, because it really stinks as eagle to just really not having any day-to-day bonuses. And obviously you're charging out for lightning strike, but lightning strike is not going to be that strong in this game if we're going to get our global damage before you and really weaken all your units. So that was another reason why we went for global damage, is to nerf that JTQWN eagle.
Yeah, there was something about the labs too. You had said it unlocked, I think it was bombers and neo-tanks.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing that the income wasn't that high. It was like, if everything was capped, then it would be like 18 split, and you usually never get everything. So, you know, you're going to be like at 16, 17 cage.
Yeah.
It's pretty low even for baseline, which is usually higher income. So it wasn't really that good for big charge COs. It was kind of better for like shorter powers and like day-to-days. So it sort of balanced out a little bit in that dynamic, as all the pressure is kind of like starting to really pile up.
Yeah.
And the day-to-days are going to matter a lot. That poor recon of mine is like, there's a copter, there's an anti, there's a tank.
So this recon that we love so much, and I really did love this recon idea when we did it, but it just now feels like it's completely in jail. Like it's being boxed in by all units that could really threaten it pretty heavily. And like it doesn't even have really great runaway options. I think its main play here that we went for is just blocking it off with infantry and obviously this battlecopter. But they're deciding both the hand and the mouth to put a lot of pressure here on your bottom right solo base, and obviously that's kind of a weak area with a lot of cities that could be flipped there or capped there. So yeah, we'll watch this as we go to the next couple of days, but very interesting that was the early attack that JTQWN went for.
Yeah, he's pretty much stopping me from going for any of those cities, because that anti is gonna hit my infantry, and there's no tank that can reach to defend.
Yeah.
So he's the recon did stop him from going from a few captures perhaps, but now he's doing the same with anti, so it's kind of balancing out.
Yeah, and because of the pressure being put on here by both players, really, these kind of corners that we were talking about earlier are really just going for both players. Like, so I made an interesting idea here by putting this infantry here. This stops the tank from having that square available to interrupt the port, guaranteeing I'm going to get it. And then for you here in the bottom left, because you're going to have to build a tank or something to reinforce this area, you really can't put any pressure on here. You can't attack like you would want to. And this battlecopter, like, it could come in, but then, you know, you build an anti-air and you don't want to, again, spend more money in this area because you have to spend more money to defend the solo base.
Yeah, and the copter wanted to answer the red copter because I have all those captures in that com tower, all those cities that I don't want them to get denied. So
yeah, that
copter is going to be responsible for protecting that pretty much. So I can't really send it south.
Yeah, a lot of work for this copter that happened. This is an interesting move by myself. So I put the 5 HP infantry here on the city to capture. I really don't think I had any goals of ever getting the city. The main idea was to just literally block it. So that he couldn't be capturing the city on the next turn because he doesn't have a unit in range. The battlecopter's not in range. He doesn't have a unit in range to knock it off and then let the city capture. And then I'm bringing another infantry out here to interrupt. So again, not necessarily thinking I'm going to get the city, but I need to make sure I can do all I can to make sure he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
So I bring out my battlecopter here. I think this is just the... Oh, it is actually in range of his battlecopter, so we're going to do some shenanigans here almost surely to make sure that's blocked off. And then I bring out my anti-air here to kind of chase this battlecopter. Again, because he didn't put really any pressure on the south. So if I built it from this base, it'd be roughly the same positioning, but I think my idea here is I'm just going to swing this down here, try to outrun this tank, and maybe try to combine armies with you here a little bit. Yes, we do go for some blocking shenanigans. Now this battlecopter, the ranges are wrong here, but it can't actually reach. And then obviously nothing can go ahead and kill this recon because the tank's not in range. So if he goes for the hit with his battlecopter, he's just going to lose the engagement to my battlecopter.
Yeah, and in part, the recon copter combo is forcing Mouth to send that tank downwards.
Yeah. Because
if not, the recon can get a hit on his infantry, and then if he responds with a copter, then you hit it with your copter. So
yeah,
forcing something to answer the recon without it being the copter.
Yeah.
Well, I guess until the anti-air gets there.
But now you're pressuring with this tank, right? So if the anti-air wants to come up, now this tank that you just built is going to put more pressure. So now you really are kind of forcing the hand of the Mouth to to come down and bring that tank
almost
down. You do also go for this interrupt here, which is kind of wild to look at. Yeah, I was going to say a lot of infantry here and their max infantry with 2 comm towers that can come back, but
on a shoal too.
I think it's kind of basically the similar logic to what I'm doing up here, where you can one turn just always put a unit here, so you're just trying to delay it as much as possible. Yeah, and then we see the battlecopter come out.
Well, I think my reasoning there was I can just keep chaining those infantry, and I have a few, and because he has one capping, he only has one supporting guy, so sure he can come in and take it out. I can go in and finish the guy off on the city because I also have 2 towers, so then we'd be like 1-1 down. Yeah. And just keep following it up. So the timing for him is not going to be able... He's not going to have a 3rd infantry to support that 2nd guy, and I'm going to win that battle in the long run. And just deny the port. Right. And you'll have it. So then we'll be up 1k pretty much.
Yeah, we have 1 contested property going for us, hopefully. And we do see here in the middle, I've caught up a little bit. So the hand of JTQWN is going to be either getting this city on the next turn or going for this one. And I have basically, so I'm just like one turn behind that. So I need to either go here, which would then go here, or here on the next turn. So yeah, I'm one turn behind him. I'm in the middle here, so not the worst thing for, again, having kind of a dubious starting infantry capture phase for myself.
Yeah, I guess the problem is he can go for the one in the mountain, and yeah, that one, and you're not gonna be in time to hit it
with this infantry.
Yeah, and he can also hit your guy on that mountain city with his copter, but that was part of the TA here.
Yeah.
So, where your copter can't get the same hit on his. But, like, there's that mountain city that he can interrupt you from getting with the other red guy. Yeah, that one. So there's that aspect, which is like, oof, he's going to have it and you're not going to have it either. So we're going to go down there. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, and this battlecopter is really annoying, right? Because the battlecopter can come in and both protect this infantry capturing the city from your own battlecopter, and then potentially also swing out here and provide more pressure in the middle, where essentially kind of outrange your battlecopter and be annoying in an area where I'm not going to have my anti-air in range immediately.
Yeah, I guess if I had that copter one turn earlier, then I could have defended your infantry, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, part of the T-copter build is now showing why it had some challenges, but it's still interesting. This was also, I thought, was very interesting by the mouth. So we went for 2 captures here, both on the city and the comm tower. But obviously, I don't really care about this cap at all. I guess I could have maybe joint capped it, but I think my play here is just going to be to interrupt one of these, and most likely the comm tower cap. I just don't want to allow him to have that really at all if I can help it, but...
Yeah, I mean, joint cap wouldn't be a good idea because you would still have the same amount of cap points and you would just lose your 5 HP for nothing.
Yeah, it would still be at 10. There really isn't a lot of purpose and that can get interrupted.
Oh, look at that. We stopped the comm tower cap. Let's go.
Recon value. Let's go. But, yeah, now this is the part where it's starting to get a little bit scary. So my whole gambit here of having the attacks in this area and kind of put pressure on both myself and the mouth really isn't working out that well. This one battlecopter has provided really good protection and aggression here for the JTQWNs, and now we already see 2 battlecopters and a tank coming out from the base and airport side, which is going to apply a lot of pressure that we've been talking about here on the bottom right for you.
Yeah.
So I think at this point in the game, we're probably behind. Like our odds are not looking the best at this point.
Yeah, and seeing this, like, that hit and these little cities, like, we kind of know that we're a little bit behind on cities, but it's okay. It's not super bad, but
no, it's not lost by any means. But
yeah. Oh, look at that! He even stops that cap.
Yeah, which is interesting. So again, he's not capping here for another turn, so I would actually say that's a decent engagement for you. Obviously, you do lose the infantry, but it's another full 2 turns at least of stopping that capital.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what would have been best for him, but I guess he saw the same thing. Okay, if I keep capping an attack, then I still don't get the port.
Yeah.
So at least he preserves unit count this way.
Yeah. And this is actually another thing. I know you mentioned this earlier about instead of building this anti-air here, instead of building it from this base, this is maybe one of the benefits that we would have had if I would have positioned it, like, let's say here on turn 1. Maybe I could have swung it down here now, put some pressure on the battlecopter, and put it in a spot where you can actually interrupt because I'm covering you with my anti-air. So maybe got punished a little bit there with the choice of which base to build the anti-air. So
I mean, the anti-air and the T-copter, those 2 could have changed the
early stage for sure. So I go for the interrupt to the comm tower. Again, that's just my main idea. Bring this infantry out to continue the interrupt as well, I think. It also has an angle towards this base. He doesn't have an infantry there to capture on this turn, but just putting more pressure there. Yeah, I think that my plan with this anti-air is still the same, to potentially swing it down. This tank is going to be pretty annoying, though, in terms of what it covers. So I think I'm going to send this tank and build another one to just kind of defend this anti-air. And I had ideas early on of putting some pressure here, like I was talking about maybe building an artillery and then putting a unit here, providing some pressure, but I'm not really going for it, because, this is just more defensible than really I thought when I was looking at this map. But now here in the bottom right is really where it's getting scary. So this anti-air is obviously in range of this battlecopter. We're going to do the same like kind of protection phase here. But yeah, this recon is completely scared and can't really do much. We have a battlecopter, a tank, a battlecopter, an anti-air, and 2 more tanks all threatening in, and with 3 full HP infantry that can get some caps here. Like, this is a very kind of scary part of the game here, where we're gonna have to really work hard to defend this bottom right base. Because if we lose this base, we pretty much lose the game.
Yeah, any base that we lose is gonna be fatal. And he has now enough infantry to stop, like, those 2 or 3 neutral cities are gonna remain neutral pretty much. And it's like, okay, how do you have infantry and vehicles, so it's like,
yeah,
no one is gonna give those up easily. So there's just gonna be a bit of a mid game here. What do I build, how do I position, and to try to get those.
yeah.
Very annoyingly, because the income is not even that high. I'm still at 13k. Like, we would love to have more income, but
Like a medium
we're
tank
running
here
out of
would
cities
be
to capture.
awesome, but like, yeah, we're just too poor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like I saved up. I have 6k. So I made tank infantry. I could have made another tank, but I decided not to. So perhaps saving up to make a medium tank.
Yeah, I think saving
I'm
up
not sure.
to a medium tank, maybe a battlecopter, but I think the main idea here is that you really only need infantry. Like, this is not the fight right now. Like, no one cares about really this corner of the game. So just either saving up for a medium tank or maybe a battlecopter to send in, something essentially to do that. But
Yeah.
a tank here is not really going to provide a lot of value, because even if you build it, it's still going to be very hard to get these cities in the corner. The other interesting thing that I saw in your turn here is you boosted up some infantry up here towards the north and bringing the battlecopter up here. Obviously, you're pressuring the city, but also potentially the port as well, if the mouth is a little sloppy here in terms of defending it. Yeah, I guess what's your idea is there? Just provide some counter pressure, make them think somewhere else, try to stop some of the units that are coming up from this base.
Yeah, just pretty much moving stuff as far forward as possible. Perhaps, I mean, obviously he's not gonna let that happen, but T-Copter can do some blocking perhaps and just sneak in a port flip perhaps.
Yeah.
But he's obviously not gonna let that happen. That copter's gonna snipe the T-Copter.
Yeah,
But it's putting something, so putting some work.
The success of it, we're still have to decide, because he does decide to go for the battlecopter. So he's not going to build a tank or anything here. An anti-air here would be, I mean, you have no tanks here. An anti-air here would be great. But he doesn't go for it. He goes for the battlecopter. Essentially saying, like, I don't care about this area.
He's really doubling down on that pressure on that corner. He's just sending everything, even the tank, and like all of Eagle's vehicles are going south, and all of Max's vehicles are also going to that southern right corner.
Yeah.
The only other vehicle from him is that copter, the red copter, which is, I guess, slowly making its way to that corner as well.
Yeah, going to hop, skip, and a jump to the other side of the map.
Yeah.
And this is interesting. I remember like sending you some various turns on this turn for you, because I think you, like you were talking about, you can block with this battlecopter, send some infantry up, and I think send this infantry out here to cap. And I don't think the mouth could have blocked it at all. I think the only thing that could have happened is the battlecopter could have come in and interrupted, and then you would hit it with your own battlecopter. But the problem is that even if you did go for that, yes, you would get the flip, but you'd injure pretty much every single one of these infantry. And he probably just gets the port back on a later turn, like maybe 3 or 4 days down the line, because it's going to be very hard for you to defend. So I don't think we end up going for it, but yeah, very interesting. Like, it's very interesting in some of these high-level games too, to see where, like, you'll just see stuff like in this part right here where they're just giving you the cap, or this part here where they're just giving you the flip, because if you take it, it's kind of bait. Like, it's just really not great for you long term if you go for that.
Yeah, losing a bunch of army to just, I don't know, flip a property for a turn or two is just not worth it sometimes.
Yeah.
Most of the times. But depends who you ask.
Yeah, I'm sure people have some different opinions. Yeah, maybe one Polish guy. But we have this tank coming in. Very interesting play here. I actually really like this play by the hand. So he kills off your recon, and he's making this reinforcement lane very annoying. I think he's going to bring this anti-air here as well. Yeah, he is, to kill off the infantry.
This is super weird, because it was the first time that someone like actually attacked.
Yeah, this is a commitment. Like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we're gonna get into a messy fight here, and this is the first time. It's no longer just infantry or poking at infantry. Now it's vehicle onto vehicle commitment.
And the
so I thought this was a very strange. Yeah, and even a medium tank. Just scary as Max.
Yeah, short of having a Neo tank or getting the labs, this is going to be the most powerful unit on the entire board.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you're saying, I think this is obviously a very heavy commitment. It is going to be slightly annoying. He doesn't have an infantry capturing this city this turn. I think that would be even stronger because that would be almost impossible to interrupt. You could like sacrifice your own, but it's just not great. But he is making this reinforcement path very kind of annoying from us. There is an angle here where I attack the tank with my battlecopter. I think you can kill it off and then block, so his battlecopter can attack. I think that's kind of what we end up going for. But yeah, this is a full commitment, and really, if he over-aggresses here, it's not going to go well for him, because obviously now we're in one turn reinforcement range for your base, and if I start pumping out battlecopters here, they're going to get, obviously, to this area very quickly as well. So, like, this battlecopter in this base have to go on, you know, a quest through a desert to get to this area, and, you know, this single base also has some very tough reinforcement lanes, so if he wants to just attack, he's going to have to be pretty fast and pretty aggressive, because the more this battle goes on, the better it is for us.
Yeah, it's 1 turn reinforcement from that base. It is 2 from your airport, but it is also like 3 or 4 from his.
Yeah.
So the reinforcement is going to be in our favor, but the day-to-day is going to be in his favor.
Yeah.
So, and he's also at the same time denying a bunch of properties, which on the other hand, he is getting, right? He has that orange property, and perhaps he can sneak in the other 2. So, yeah, I mean, it definitely benefits us in a bit in the sense that we can get some charge and get closer to those global damages. But it's always that question of like, okay, if he gets enough income after this, then he can weather out the storms.
Right.
So finding the right balance there.
Yeah, we have some interesting builds here for myself. So we do see the battlecopter again to protect this area. The recon's coming in, I think, to really essentially force a tank build here. Like we were talking about, one of the main problems that we were having against the mouth is he's just building all of his units here and sending him south and kind of ignoring this area. You built the battlecopter here to apply some pressure. I think this recon is also going to be a very cheap way to be very annoying, because like now you kind of have to build a tank, otherwise this recon is just going to get a bunch of free value interrupting all of these city flips that he wants to do in this area. So you can't go as all in as you want.
Yeah.
And then the other interesting thing that I'm doing here is I'm applying a lot of pressure to the city flip. Again, he can defend it somewhat easily, but he has to be careful because obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 potentially coming down the line. Like a lot of infantry into this area. If he sends all of his vehicles to the south, the HQ can come under threat in the worst case scenario, just because like he could obviously punch through those infantry, but if I have 8 of them, it's just going to be such a clogged lane here that's going to be very hard for him to interrupt that, and it can become a big problem for him.
Yeah, I think perhaps an arty would be very strong, but you're committing all of your resources into making copter, and a couple other tanks at the top.
Yeah, I know we talked about an arty in the northeast here for me to kind of just strengthen this idea earlier on. But yeah, the copters just felt very, powerful because they're going to help defend this area, but just needed.
Well, we had the fear of, he can attack the base, but if we pump out medium tank copter every single turn, then it's absolutely impossible for him to flip it. The thing is also like, okay, how much are we going to commit then?
Yeah. But this first wave for us went very well. We fully killed off a tank. We weakened this anti-air down to 4. And then like this battlecopter doesn't want to get in here with an anti-air and a battlecopter. This tank doesn't want to get in here with a battlecopter and 2 tanks. Like this kind of initial attack I don't think was that strong for him. He's really just sacrificed 2 units, and he doesn't want to go further into the meat grinder, at least not now. Like he needs to bring his other units in for a couple of turns. So I think we did a good job fending off the first wave.
I think he actually gets a really good trade here, because that 4 HP anti still is going to take a good chunk out of your copter.
Yeah, it's a max 4 HP anti-air with 2 comp towers, so it is a little bit
leaves yours
hard.
at like 4 or 3, so... And then got more copters. So on the last turn too, I could have made a medium tank on that base, but knowing how this trade was going to work out, we were forced to make anti-air and another copter just to because he's chaining those copters.
Yeah.
So if we're going to be you're going to be the first one to get hit at your copter, and you don't even have a chain, so we definitely need an anti-air to make up for that number. So I had to make an anti-air, and after that I can make medium tank because I'm going to have 18k.
Yeah, and I guess this attack is stronger than I gave it credit for, because those units could come in. It's obviously going to be the hand's turn next, so this tank and medium tank are going to come in. So kind of the trades here that I thought we could get are a little less strong. This tank is also in range to hit this tank, so I'll be curious to see what he does there. But yeah, very interesting turn here. So he is going to go for the hit, and wow, that feels unfair. That just does not feel...
That's crazy.
A 4 HP anti-air should not be able to do that much damage illegally.
That's crazy.
So, but I guess it's 40% extra power, right? Because 20% for max and then 2 comm towers. But man,
Yeah.
I've always been a proponent that, you know, keep your low HP anti-air around because they can do more than you think. But
Oh yeah,
that's
wild.
Yeah. I think
And there comes that medium thing too.
I think he did high. I think there was a chance this could even go down to 4 HP, and I think it would have knocked this anti-air down to like 2. So I think I kind of low roll there, but you know, again, it is what happens.
Mansa. Why do you low roll?
Oh, and then yeah, this is again just max things. Another 40% unit, so he fully kills off an infantry I had in the area with his battlecopter. And sorry, and then going back, we can see kind of what I was talking about at the very beginning of this match, where battlecopters built from this base are just very annoying because this anti-air started here, but then he moved his battlecopter like over here, so then I had to bring mine over to this side. But these forests are making it very annoying to try to cover any of my units. So yeah, battlecopters from this base, from this airport are stronger than you think, even without having the presence that you see on other maps where you have that river. So this tank actually decides to finish off the 2 HP here on the shoals instead of going for the attack on the tank on the city. You think that's probably just an engagement reason-wise? Like it probably would have gone like 6-7 and he just didn't want to take it?
That's a good question. He could have, honestly, right? There's no tank follow-up from me either. Because he's not even gonna have the mouth retaliation. Maybe he was just trying to see if you know, I would bite the bait or whatever. Because he has so many. Look, he has 2 copters and more coming.
Yeah.
He has a tank and a medium tank, so I'm definitely forced to make a medium
and a second medium tank. Yeah.
Like I have to make a medium tank.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it would have been that bad of an idea to hit the tank on the city, right? He would leave it at 5. It would be like 5.
Yeah, I guess the max with 40%. Yeah, it's probably gonna be like 5-6, maybe. No, 5-7.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess there's maybe some unit count considerations as well, because he can do the same thing he's done previously, where he just puts 2 units here and makes it very annoying to get through. That could be part of the reason why, but
yeah. I mean, taking out the unit count is very strong. We have very little there, and he can, choke us up there. If he can, as long as we can hold that city tile, that's the most important thing. Because once he can take that and he just plops a tank or a medium tank, then it's over. He can do whatever he wants. So it was like so important not to lose that single tile.
Yeah. I think I wanted to talk about this earlier on, but I think I missed it in the commentary. It may actually happen in the future. I'm not sure yet. But at some point, the map that you're talking about is going to switch from Eagle to Lash because he was very scared of these city flips. So that's why you see the mech build here and a bunch of infantry captured up. I noticed this during the game. So yeah, he switched to Lash just because obviously any engagements on the mountains here on these cities are going to be very strong for Lash. But there was a turn here somewhere where these battlecopters were not as strong as they could have been because he was forced, he chose, I guess, to switch to Lash to worry about these fights. So that may have happened on a previous turn, or maybe one coming up, but yeah, maybe because of all this infantry pressure here that I'm bringing, he might switch to Lash this next turn.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think I just go for some free HP. I think this copter was dead no matter what. So it's just getting some hits here, tank up the shoal, about as good of engagement as you can get. It would have been even stronger though if this battlecopter didn't get knocked down so much on that roll that we were talking about. So that was annoying, but it is what it is.
Yeah, there's also the threat of a max force now that medium tank can reach that city that my tank is on with a max force.
Yeah,
so it's like
symmetry, but
yeah, should be fairly easy.
Very easy. Yeah.
And I think now I can make a medium tank, but I believe I probably have to retreat that tank, honestly. There's no point in leaving it there unless I just go and slap a tank. I don't really remember what I do. Oh, I do. Okay.
You do go ahead and decide to slap the tank.
I go and take a copter. Okay.
Yeah.
In the face of a medium tank. Okay.
Yeah, and this imagery is putting in some work as well. Obviously, we never want him to allow him to sit on the city, because then it's really hard.
Yeah.
Like, you have really bad terrain trying to get it back, and like that'd be a very bad positional move. But we do see the medium tank build coming in. And if we chain just medium tanks into medium tanks here on the city, like, yes, he's probably going to be having those like 5-7 trades, but then you heal it back, and like you're building charge towards your Winter Fury. So like long term, you can't do that for, you know, infinite turns. Like, it's just not going to work out for him.
Oh, I try to go for a roll there and I don't get it either.
Yeah, I think that's to chip. There was some important chips here, not for this battlecopter, but for this battlecopter coming in, because even the 3 HP anti-air, I think, can still do like 5 damage to this battlecopter, which is ridiculous. So yeah, you were trying to, and it gets like exponential. Like, if this was 2 HP, then I think it only does like 2 or 3 to this battlecopter. So going for a chip there. Not getting it.
That max force is ready too.
Yeah.
A snow could have been also prevent that medium tank from hitting the anti-air, but still you have the eagle tank that could hit the anti-air, so probably not a good idea.
Yeah, we had a lot of turns that we were discussing, like, is it worth it to just get the snow in here? Because there were some tactical ideas, like, it also really threatens or slows down these battlecopters coming in. There was also opportunities where, like, these infantry can't come to the mountains because of the snow, and then I get some flips. Like, there was a lot of these ideas, but I think we correctly came to the conclusion that it's just, like, it's not better than global damage. Like, there's just no universe. You can get a bunch of stuff, like, it's an anti-air, slowing down some battlecopters, and maybe a flip or two, and it's like, that is not worth the 30 or 40,000 that you would get from the global damage.
Yeah.
But it was tempting for sure. As a Blizzard enjoyer, I was I was always looking for him.
And the T-Copter getting some action there, sitting on that city, so then I can start a capture, I guess.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit more of a threat than anything else. Again, we're just trying to get this base and airport, and then this base to stop harassing us so much. So we're putting pressure in different areas. I'm putting pressure in the north here. You're putting pressure towards this to basically say, like, go away, go fight something else, and stop chaining everything into the bottom right.
Yeah, trying to drain some resources from him.
Yeah. This battlecopter is now tucked behind enemy lines. You have the army meme with like the clown guy.
Yeah, but that anti is gonna be very much dead.
Yeah.
But now that you're chaining copters and I can also chain medium tanks against his chaining of copters and medium tanks, then we're gonna be fine. He's even base skipped, so he has kind of a 4 infantry in the south, which he got that city and he could put some more pressure.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be running out of those as I'm chaining medium tanks. So we have that on his favor. Same with the orange infantry at the top. So
yeah,
he's gonna get some captures for sure, and that sucks. But we're definitely not gonna lose the base. It's just gonna be painful to lose some income.
Yeah, and if you look at unit count, this is kind of like one of the more annoying things, especially going up against Eagle. You want to try to reduce unit count as much as possible, but he is absolutely kind of crushing us on unit count. It's 41 combined to our 37, which doesn't sound like a lot, but like we also have a bunch of very low HP units in the fray here. So yeah, it's tough, especially because as you're building so many battlecopters, like you're talking about, we just have like a wall of infantry here that are scarier than they should be just because of numbers.
Yeah, he has a lot of infantry. He didn't build a single vehicle on that base in the top left.
It's just
so
the
he
battlecopter. It's just
it's day 11 and he's had 10 or 11 infantry. I think you killed one or not. I don't know, but he's only had infantry, so he has a lot. He could make an RD or something, and it would be pretty dangerous. But just the infantry themselves are pretty scary with just that single copter.
For sure. And also, like we talked about earlier, again, no labs captured yet. We're starting to get to that income level, or at least maybe the JTQWNs are, where if you saved a little bit of money, you could maybe get out a Neo or a bomber. That could be really devastating. Like, for example, you get that a bomber here, and I only have one anti-air in the area. That's going to be really annoying to deal with. So it was around these turns where we were like, okay, how do we either deny labs or get them for ourselves to get a good tactical position here? And then also, so this is the turn that I was talking about earlier. So we do see the swap to Lash on his previous turn. I think he was threatened by the pressure that I was putting on here, which is, all great success by me, because I think this is a bluff more than anything else, just like swing these units down. But yeah, great to get him off Eagle for a turn, get these battlecopters a little weaker.
Yeah, I wonder if there was something that he saw that he could do. Not sure.
I mean, these infantry aren't in range of the
Somewhat.
HQ yet, even with snow.
Yeah.
I think maybe with snow, I get probably at least this city, maybe this city as well. Although I think he can still interrupt this city, so I'm not sure what I mean, he's pretty worried. Like, he builds the artillery here to go against these infantry. He swaps a lash. Like, he invests into stopping this. So yeah, it was a little interesting there to see him that concerned about what I think is kind of really a fake attack more than anything else.
That's pretty funny. If I would have used the snow, then you could have gotten that flip, guaranteed.
Yeah, this one.
Because those infantry cannot move onto the mountain.
Yeah, and this battlecopter is not going to be in range.
Yeah.
I remember talking about that. I think we sent a message about it, but yeah, again, like, it would have saved this anti-air and it would have gotten this flip. But other than that, like,
Yeah.
eh.
We're betting for the long term. We're being very patient.
And also, like, this is looking bad for us. Like, okay, so you have one full HP tank, 2 full HP battlecopters, and then 3 medium tanks.
3 medium tanks.
Yeah, like, it looks tough, but we're not actually. I don't think we're that scared if he wants to chain into this forever. Because again, the reinforcement lanes are going to be fine for us. And for all the pressure that he's putting in, what has he gotten out of it? He's gotten 1 city, which he still hasn't even captured yet, right? Like, he hasn't flipped your comm tower, he hasn't flipped the port, like, he hasn't really gotten a lot of monetary value out of all these trades yet. And the power building that's doing is going to help us more than him.
Yeah, that's the best thing. That charge, it just keeps going up. I think we were talking, and I was like, just 1 medium tank clash, and Winter Fury comes in. So
yeah,
I'm just waiting for that.
And that, like, really takes the teeth out of this whole fight too, because, like, if he knows that, and if he goes for that and get, like, you just plop your medium tank down here, he doesn't want to attack it. Like, he's gonna have to do something else. And we'll see what his plan is here shortly. But yeah, very difficult for him. More difficult for him in this area than what you think. This is not an easy win for him by any stretch of the imagination. So I do bring my infantry back here, essentially put it out of the range of the mechs, the battlecopters, the artillery, because I brought my own anti-air down. And my whole idea here is this battlecopter has all these tiles to go to, and because this was maximum movement for this anti-air, this now covers every single tile of specifically this battlecopter that he built on the airport. So you can block it off, the movement of this anti-air, a little bit with some of these infantry, but it is just essentially try to be an annoyance, make sure that maybe this battlecopter isn't reinforcing as quickly as it would want to. And also just bringing it into the fold because, yeah, just having an anti-air is going to be very valuable, even if it kills off, 1 copter and then gets killed and maybe you do like 3 damage to another copter. That would be good value for that anti-air.
Yeah, honestly, that anti-air of yours is putting a lot of pressure. Because now he doesn't have a new tank because he made that already.
Yeah.
So he has to send now either the orange tank in the bottom up north to deter your anti-air, or bring a medium tank. And the medium tank would be kind of too much of an investment.
Send something here to address it.
Yeah.
And we do see that continuing to chain as well to just provide more defense.
Yeah, that anti-air has gone all the way from the top and making its way all the way to the south. It hasn't shot.
It is 30 gas. It is quickly running out of fuel. Yeah. So I forgot to mention this earlier, but you did build the tank here. I think that was on a turn where it was the anti-air turn where you didn't build a medium tank, so you had some fun left over. So you decided to put some pressure here, and it is actually getting you value now. I think there is a universe where you not only get the port, but maybe threaten this comm tower as well, which could be very nice.
Yeah, kind of in the same vein as what you were saying, to drain some resources from him, kind of like, put some pressure, so then he has to stop chaining stuff there and build something else on the other base, which he has to build a tank, because I'm going to get all these free shots and flip, get the port, get the comm tower, which would be massive deal against Max and us with global damage.
Yeah. And again, like you were talking about, so your charge, you're like, what, 20,000 away from Winter Fury, so like...
So close.
He goes for this, and he's not too careful with some of the other stuff that's going on here, and you can get Winter Fury very easily. The one kind of downside of this position, I will say, is that this tank doesn't have a lot of... There's not like a tank or a battlecopter or something you can sacrifice itself into easily to get charged. This battlecopter, same thing. There's no anti-air, so it's like your other units on the board can't generate charge in the way that you would want to, because like you would absolutely... If you could get a Winter Fury just by sacking this battlecopter, you would do it 100 out of 100 times.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
So no, he was being super careful with that. avoiding me getting that charge. Although he still goes for a shot there on that medium tank.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's being careful, but he is also committing to this attack. Like he's not wimping out of it quite yet. This was also I remember I was upset about this. This should have been down to 9 HP, but he got lucky and got to 8. Very, very upset with my luck rules this game.
And it looks like I'm gonna get a lab. I'm gonna be the first one to get a lab actually.
Yeah, up here.
Not like I have the money to do anything about it.
Yeah,
the copter there.
And now
that was a pretty big deal actually.
Yeah, I got this copter to go away. I think his main reason was, so this tank does actually cover this city, which is where the battlecopter could have gone, I believe. So let me back up there. Yeah, battlecopter could have gone to the city, and then he would be protecting it. But he decides to go to the north. Again, I think this is partly just the pressure of these infantry, which is very interesting to me that he was so concerned about these infantry. I really don't think... Like, there's very minimal threats. Like, I'm never getting the HQ. Maybe I sent him to the south here, which was kind of my idea to threaten these 2 cities. But yeah, he really invests a lot here to going against the infantry. And I think not to spoil too much for the future, it might be part of his future plan to change the aggression from you to me. Maybe that was part of the idea as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. Because the fact that he's breaking that chain means that you're gonna win the copter fight in the bottom.
Yeah.
So now he also doesn't have an anti-air, so your copters are gonna wreak some havoc now, and they're gonna have free reign. So he is giving up on that pressure essentially. He will front shift away from that area.
Yeah.
Perhaps also knowing that if he taps one of my medium tanks, then the winter is coming.
Yeah.
So he has to apply pressure somewhere else.
He did also finally get what he wanted, right? So he got both of these cities. I think ideally he would have wanted the comm tower too, but we're putting up a good defense there. But he also got this city. So this was kind of, I guess, the gambit of this position. Like, I don't think he ever thought he was getting the base, but he did get a little bit of what he wanted. He got the income, and now he got it without triggering your Winter Fury. Yeah,
and he's gonna go for you now because you're not that high up on charge. So he's like, okay, let me put up some damage on that guy that still has a little bit empty.
the migration of the medium tanks up north that we see.
The slow medium tank.
And this is really smart too because it's still very aggressive. Like on a dime's notice, if we're getting too careless here, these medium tanks go right back in and finish off the job.
Yeah, and I can't really position anywhere in that area. It's all shoals and plains. Even that city that he's capping, he's taking up that tile. And he has max force, so it's like, I'm not going to allow 2 first strikes into my medium tanks. Like, sure, I'll get Winter Fury, but they'll still be at 8 HP, and he can still destroy my stuff. So at a certain point, you don't want to just gift all of your army just for the Winter Fury, because Max can still do a lot of damage. So it was pretty annoying, honestly. I had to, do a back route with the medium tanks.
Yeah. You just look at our position here, and it's this half of the map looks not fun for us. Like, you cannot really aggress forward without losing your troops, like you were talking about, like losing both medium tanks.
Yeah.
The anti-air in the tank here, this is suddenly a no fun zone with two medium tanks coming up.
Like, you have to run away, yeah.
I have to run away. You're, I think, going to be able to interrupt this comm tower cap relatively easily. Like, these battlecopters could still come in here and put some pressure, which is, I think, like, that was like the crown jewel, I guess, of his whole thing. Get these 3 cities and hopefully flip the comm tower, because Max with 3 is another level of scary than Max with 2.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, it's not going great for us on this side of the map. Very suddenly, because I remember like a day or 2 ago, we were like, we love our position. Like, this is going great. We're about to get Winter Fury. We're about to do this whole thing. It was on this front switching turn. We're like, oh god, we might be in some trouble.
Yeah, the front switch all of a sudden looked really good. At the same time, you have that tank made by Eagle in the top left. So now he not only has a copter, but now he has a tank as well. Yeah. I mean, answering to your anti-air and recon, but at the same time, it's like, okay, now we need an answer. We have my copter, but we're kind of like zoning each other out with our copters. So we're going to have to invest something else like a tank. But that means that you are also not going to be able to invest into this front switch, because now your army looks very tiny next to what's coming. So
I do go for
that looks really dangerous.
I go for the joint cap here. I'm now going to get this city. Nothing can get me down low enough. But in the same way that your port capture here early on was maybe a trap, maybe this was a trap as well, because this, like you said, this is a huge army going against 4. And in situations where it may not be great, right? Obviously tank against anti-air and stuff like that. So I may get the city, but he may flip it back, you know, a couple turns later.
Yeah, what I meant of the tiny army is more the stuff that you have on the right side, your army and stuff. It looked good before. It was putting pressure, but now all those medium tanks and all the stuff from Eagle is now pointing at you. It's like, ooh.
The big boy units are coming.
Oh, I don't make another medium tank, so I just stay with 2 against the city. I think that's probably smart. Yeah, just an anti-air.
Yeah, I think that the idea here was that I think you saw this front shifting idea coming. So just over-investing too many in the medium tanks here, they're going to be very slow, especially because you don't have a max force or something that can increase its movement. They're always going to be outranged by these units, so I think maybe you don't go for it here, but I think down the line maybe you feed some battlecopters into this area. But honestly, there's not a really great spot for you to build anything. Like, this is going to be very difficult for you to help me out in this fight. But we have been successful in some of the other pressure that we want to do. So obviously, we forced a tank out here to address the anti-air. We forced a tank out here to address your tank. And just they seem minimal, but those little bits of annoyances that we're causing are making sure that his attacks are not even more brutal than they could be, right? Because like if he had some extra funds here, having another battlecopter here would just be another level of threat that we have to deal with in some of these bigger pushes.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, you're right, because he made double tank with Eagle, so not another copter, which he had been spamming so many of.
Yeah.
And now I'm winning that infantry battle at the bottom left, because now I have 3 healthy ones against 2. And
yeah, now you're winning this corner.
So I was going to force him to do another tank probably.
Important to say here as well, I built another anti-air because there's a world here with a max force pop that he can just get this medium tank to my to my anti-air, and he kills it. And if that happens, I suddenly have no anti-air support for this entire army, so it's very dangerous. So it's pretty much forced to build an anti-air on this turn. But in general, these anti-airs are going to be kind of a lifesaver towards this defense that we're about to have.
Yeah, I remember, because he can do copter infantry, take out your lab infantry, and then with a max force, plop it on the lab. I don't remember if he does that. And then you would get a shot with your arty, but it wouldn't deal that much. I think at least at like 6 or 7, perhaps.
Yeah, with the power pop, it doesn't do as much as I want.
Yeah.
To talk about this is small, but this infantry was actually kind of a nice idea by myself. So it simultaneously blocked off this infantry from attacking this corner earlier on, and it also weakened it. So if it starts any caps, it's not going to be at 10 HP. This infantry was dead to rights. It was in range of tanks and battlecopters. There was no safe square for it, even with the anti-air coming. So that was just a nice another little, again, slight benefits, slight annoyances to make our position from incredibly terrible to slightly less terrible. But we do see this left side army coming in. He does go for the hit on my infantry on the city. It's not going to interrupt it, but again, now we have 3 infantry in range, and it's the same thing with the port, like we were talking about. Like, go ahead and capture it, see what happens. It's going to be tough. So he didn't. Here
goes Max.
Yeah, he didn't go for the interrupt idea that you were talking about, though. He had the ability to kill off this lab infantry with orange and then bring Max in with the max force, so he didn't go for it, which was interesting.
Yeah, I think he just wants to preserve the power so he can keep the threats on. Because once he uses it, sure, like, it would have been pretty bad not having that anti-air, and then perhaps your other anti-air would not be getting there in time to support, and you would probably have to retreat everything.
I retreat everything, yeah.
But he would not have any charge, and with the global damage coming in, it'd be pretty tough for him to put that kind of pressure, because that was only possible because he had the max force possibility, right? That you were thinking, oh, how do I position this? But if he doesn't have that, it's like, okay, he can only move 5 tiles. He doesn't have that extra pressure. It makes it a little bit easier for us.
And it was still very beneficial for him, obviously, because one, he knocks out infantry, which he was going to do regardless, and he's still putting on a bunch of pressure here where I can't stay here, even with him not hitting my anti-air. These tanks with the max force, like you were talking about, can still be huge threats. And now you have 2 battlecopters, a tank, and an artillery coming in. Like, I can't. I'm gonna have to back up at least a little bit here, probably around this mountain range, even without the popping of the max force. So I think it was probably a good no pop by the hand there.
Interesting. He also moves the 3rd medium tank back. He kind of retreated the Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why. He could have gone up and followed the other one, but
I think the idea
sure
there
what the
was there's no square maybe there was the idea was that there was no square for him where your medium tank couldn't have hit it and then get you Winter Fury.
I believe there was, but perhaps he was planning on, I don't know, supporting the middle flip, like sending that medium tank straight through the middle and supporting the flip on your blue city in the middle. I'm not
These
sure.
two infantry here going for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is an interesting thought, like, because he's obviously not afraid of your medium tanks outside of building charge. Yeah, I really wonder what he was concerned about. Maybe I could also have sacrificed my battlecopters into the medium tank to build my own charge with some sort of attack. Yeah, very interesting position there. I'm not sure what's going through the hand's mind. We do find this nice little position here. I do like this. This artillery is getting value, even though it didn't go for the attack it wanted. Now it's getting value as a defender. Now both of these tiles are in an artillery range. This is the only infantry that's undefended, per se. But yeah, just backing up a little bit. And then this engagement here, this may seem weird that I'm kind of keeping these 3 battlecopters down here in the south not pressuring. But it's kind of similar reasons, like battlecopters obviously outrange battlecopters, especially when they're eagle. Like it's not going to be fun for me to send these north. And these battlecopters down here in the south now are still getting some value. One, they're killing off some of these red infantries, which is going to allow you to not only to defend this comm tower, but try to flip back some of these cities. But I also had a line where I think I sent these 3 battlecopters fully to the left and pressured these 2 tanks to help with the corner flip.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think those are my ideas. And again, just it makes sense to send him north because, you know, I'm scared here, but like there's just no good way for me to get there without being in his range.
Yeah, you're never gonna cross to the other side. But it's still a good idea to have them kind of in that area. And then my anti can respond to those 2 orange copters.
Yeah.
As he's like evacuating all the tanks. So anti are gonna reign supreme pretty much. Again, the T-copter, let's go! Look at that T-copter putting that infantry in position.
Value for the T-copter.
Another infantry position of his red city. So he has 2 red cities under threat of my infantry, plus the comm tower too. So a lot of threat. I got bullied by Max, but now Olaf is getting
the one bullying
the counter bullying. Yeah, let's go.
I know I sent you multiple turns here that you did not go for various reasons, but were various ideas where you send like the 5 HP or the 9, some infantries to capture this city here, just because it's really annoying for him. Like he doesn't have infantry in range to, like this one's gonna be at 5, but then you continually kill it off, and then I think like in 3 or 4 turns you flip this city. You didn't go for it. You went for more of a, I would say, a pragmatic approach of just waiting until the army was fully there to threaten everything at once. But yeah, that was always fun. I was sending you like these little like you should do this in the corner, and then I would go to check the turn log, and I was like, he went for something else.
Yeah, I mean you prepped a lot on other turns. You would do a lot of homework, and I was doing a lot of vibing. I mean, I still do some move planning on my turn, but I really like the ideas that you would come up with. I would just change a few things perhaps, and it's like
Yeah.
I want to preserve my unit count here, like having those infantry there to just really threaten the comm tower, forcing him that 2nd tank, and also the red anti there that he has in the bottom. It's kind of split now because it has to chase my copter at the top, and then the new copter, because the new copter is going to threaten to go south and force another anti build from him. So now that guy is kind of stranded. Yeah, it has to go at one of the 2 places. It can't chase 2 copters at the same time, so now he has to, pick his poison, I guess.
And additionally, like, no matter where he sends it, you have tanks to reinforce, right? So if he goes to the south, this tank comes. If he goes to the north, this tank can come up, and then,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There was something else that was going on that was interesting. We do see this infantry pressure that I was talking about, so he doesn't go for the flip immediately, but I'm going to have to kind of concede this area, and then he's going to flip the city on the next turn coming up. There was something else that was going on, but I lost the idea of it. But we'll continue on.
Well, he's going for your part at the top, too.
Yeah, I think that was the other thing I was going to talk about. Yeah, so these infantry are now in range of this port. So now it's very awkward defense-wise for me. Like, I'm not too concerned about these cities, but my line kind of has to essentially look like this, like almost like a banana shape, where I'm trying to defend everything here. And, like, it's going to be very hard. Like, obviously, the Winter Fury is going to help when I can get it, but Yeah, and now he's sending his battlecopters out to the center. These cities are under threat as well. Like, it is just very tough for me to defend here.
Oh yeah,
long term.
I mean, you need 3 more stars of charge. It's not that much.
Yeah.
But the clock is ticking because this is a big. It literally is like 90% of all the units from JTQWN are pointing now at your stuff.
Yeah.
You got all of Eagle's army and most of Max's army just surrounding the penguins. So it can get very scary. And like a Max Blast, unprepared, can just wipe you out.
Yeah.
And bye-bye.
I remember when the fight was in this corner. What happened to that? It was just like it's the most desolated space of all time area.
There's a bunch of slots there, interchange, and I was like, okay, you know what? We're done.
Let's somewhere else. I also remember what I was going to say. I think it is a good point to point this out now as well. Is there is somewhat of an elo difference here, obviously. So JTQWN is like in the 1500s. He's a super high level, high funds player, very, very strong player. Humita, I would also say, is a very strong player. I think you're in like the 1400s. You're known primarily for Fog, but very strong player overall. And then I'm some lowly 1200 player who's not an 800, but yeah, some of these ideas that Humita was talking about, where I would send him stuff and then you'd be like, yeah, this tank is like undefended. Like that would happen a few times where he's like, probably should put it here to not throw away some units. So that definitely happened at times during this match as well.
I don't know why I thought you were. Well, you're almost 1300. I don't know why I thought you were like 13 or 14. But
yeah.
You're still going up.
Yeah, I've stagnated a little bit in like the around the 1300 range, but yeah, that it gets. I feel like it definitely gets exponential. Like the difference between a 1300 and like 1550 is like, it's large.
You start facing the 15s, 16s every now and then.
Yeah, this is I'm mad at this again. What is with these anti-airs just doing way more damage?
It's the same one too. It's the same anti-air.
This is
That's
the
crazy.
biggest terror of this entire match.
That guy took out 2 copters.
No.
And an infantry, and I don't know what else. Crazy.
You were saying about Elo though, like the difference there.
Oh, the JTQWN is definitely way strong. I think he's 1700 actually overall.
Yeah,
he is really, really strong.
He also has like a billion ults, so I'm sure one of them is,
Oh yeah.
one of them is probably 1900 that no one even knows about. Just hidden the whole way. This was so sad. So I bring this anti-air back. Yes, I'm going to go for a defensive turn, but I literally had to do this because it had 14 fuel. Like there was worlds where I wanted to put it somewhere else maybe, but it just literally would run out of fuel for any attack coming in. So
Dang.
This anti-air that went on the trip all the way down here now had to come all the way back and ran out of fuel.
It never shot.
I don't think it shot at anything. It was just moving around. It was having a tour of the city. So we see the first kind of evidence here of me giving up space, right? So this city most likely is going to be flipped by this infantry. Like it's going to be kind of hard for me to defend it. This city is a goner. The whole fight for it just did not go my way. The port, not looking to defend it anymore, which means the comm tower could potentially come under threat. Like this is dire. Like we need to get the Winter Fury almost immediately here, or else I'm just going to lose so much income. We do see the medium tank build as well here to put some pressure, some defense.
I don't know if you can hear, my dog is doing a bunch of noises.
I don't think it's making it up.
They're bleeding. Okay.
the barks of terror about our position.
She I don't know, she's doing weird grunts and stuff.
But we do see this is an important part of how you kind of help the position as well. So you are getting now much more aggressive with your medium tanks and anti-air.
Yeah.
This is like, you don't want to attack me because I get Winter Fury. So you could fully put these medium tanks in full range of battlecopters and, max force or max blast medium tanks because you just don't care, right? Because like if this falls, he can't kill everything in this area. He can kill maybe like the medium tank and the anti-air, but if he does, then boom, we're in Winter Fury. So you're getting a bit more aggressive as well.
Yeah, I mean, there was a world on the last turn to do something similar, but I remember being like, I don't want to do it because I don't want to lose a medium tank. But at this point, we were kind of like desperation times because that red medium tank is literally a max blast away
from the base,
from your base. So I was like, okay, I think I'm willing to sacrifice a medium tank and still get a kind of a trade here just to get Winter Fury to help you out. And once we get those global damage rolling, it is going to be literally a snowball rolling.
For sure. This infantry position on my city here, the mountain city, was also another thing that was like a desperation play, because we knew the city was gone, we knew maybe the city was gone, and then both of these infantry could be in this city's range within a couple of turns. And if I lose 4, I'm going to be at 13k. Like, I can't even build a medium tank anymore to help defend this area. Like, it is. I just need something.
We really needed that global damage.
Yeah.
ASAP. So many captures going on.
Lab getting flipped potentially too, which is really scary with the income that's coming here.
Dang, I hadn't realized you had so many captures.
Yeah.
Threatened right now.
This was not.
And all going to Eagle too.
Yeah, which is not what you want to see with potential lightning strikes and stuff coming up. Now these infantry are coming out to threaten the comm tower in the city. And this might seem like bad positioning by me, but there was literally nothing that we could do because of the 2 tanks here and the battlecopters and everything else in this area. If I tried to put infantry in range to defend this stuff, it just would have gotten murdered. Like, there was no safe spots to defend any of these flips.
Dang, so much pressure. You have 5 copters pointing at you.
5
the RD.
copters. No, 6. Well, 5 and then 6 coming in.
Yeah, and he's also chaining max copters in the top left as well. Yep. Which is also in range of your base, I believe. At least with a max power.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
You have 3 antis.
6,
Well,
7. Yes, you get 3.
At least you have 3 antis, and this is like the classic. This is a pivotal point of like base pressure. Some people will not have anti-airs, and then it's like, okay, now copters are just gonna destroy you. But you have 3 anti-airs, which is like a very good number. But you also have to preserve them, and with so many units staring at you, it's not that easy.
Yeah, I know my ratios for some stuff where it's like you want 1 anti-air for 2 copters and like 2 for 5 or 2 for 4, somewhere around there. I don't know how many you need for 9. 9's a scary number, but hopefully 3 can put in somewhere.
I mean, I feel like 1 is not enough.
Yeah.
Because then the other one can just send copters, and you're forced to send that anti to attack a copter, and then it'll take it out, and then you have none. 2 is good because you can do that. You can send 1, and then you still have another one. 3 is amazing. Like 3 is a golden number that yes, you save them, and you can just pop 3 copters, boom, 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 in a turn, and that's a lot of value. So as long as you can still hold on to against the other tanks or infantry and RDs possibly coming. He also is making another RD in the top left, so he's really investing into trying to take out your stuff. And the worst thing is that your HQ is also there. Like, it's not even like, oh, maybe you lose the base and okay, maybe we'll still plow through with snow. No, like he's gonna take out your HQ, so he might just win.
Yeah, if I lose the area, it's fully lost. One thing that we were talking about though with these anti-air in range, it's already having some benefit with these copters. Like these copters, this copter could have been attacking this area this turn if it wanted. It just doesn't make sense with the 3 anti-air in that space. So he's kind of waiting to encircle me here with this attack. Also, your battlecopter in the area is providing some level of coverage, which is very helpful. But yeah, it's the 3 anti-air have slowed down the attack at least for a little bit. We do see these medium tanks though get in range, and that's going to be a little bit pivotal here, what we're going to talk about on my turn. But yeah, in now max blast range for both. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this tank is not in range yet of the base, but it's very, very close.
Yeah, it can clear anything.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much any unit you have is going to be 1-hit KO'd by these medium tanks.
For sure.
Possibly even the medium tank. I'm not sure about the damage calc there, but it's pretty brutal.
And we also noticed, another just quick point, that the dream that I had earlier on of sending these battlecopters to the left to attack these tanks, yeah, that got shut down. that got dealt with very quickly. That's part of the reason. Well, so much more income.
Yeah, the good thing is that he's investing so much down there that he's... he has 3 medium tanks, which is nothing to sneeze at, but there isn't more coming. Like, he's investing a lot to hold on because he doesn't want to lose the comm tower or the properties down there, so he's kind of banking on that stuff. But perhaps he should have all in. I don't know. Like, is this decision by him worth it enough to hold on to these things? Perhaps he needs to all in to go for your HQ. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But
Yeah, I think he felt this is a very interesting turn, right? Obviously, because he is being very defensive. He's trying to protect the income lead that he has on both of us here, and I think he felt good because like in this, if we don't do something on this turn, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flips are happening, 4 of which are going to eagle, 1 to max. Also, your lab, like if it doesn't happen literally this turn, it doesn't matter. Like if the Winter Fury comes in the next turn, like it's going to be almost impossible to recapture some of these properties. Even within a reasonable amount of time. So I think he was feeling somewhat good about defending this area, but yeah, as we'll see here, this is going to be a very, this is probably the turn I spent the most amount of time on because, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of interesting ideas here.
A pretty pivotal turn.
For sure. So the first thing that happens here is we have the recon infantry clear off this infantry on the plains. This opens up this tank to getting attacked. I don't think going for the interruption of the city really, but just trying to build some charge. So I go for that, get a 8 HP off that tank with my medium tank. And which again is kind of putting it out of range to really defend this area, which was the original idea of it. But yeah, like we're talking about, just going for more hits here. And now here's the big idea. Sacrificing one tank. Big idea is killing off a tank for 1 HP of a medium tank. But yeah, I have to do it. Now I am just about 200 away. There was also universes here where I was doing Move Planner where I think I sacrificed this anti-air as well, if I had to. But obviously now I have different ways to get to the charge that is required here for Winter Fury. So I go for this engagement first. Now just, what is that, 1,000 away? So just trying to nickel and dime everything here. Like these engagements I would love to do with Winter Fury, but
almost
still 500 away. And now this was a roll actually. So I get it here. There's a universe where I did not get this if I actually got unlucky with my roll, in which case I would have had to sacrifice this anti-air. But I was lucky. I did get, finally the luck rolls went my way, and I am able to get Winter Fury on this turn. And now suddenly it's a lot better. I mean, it's not solved, but now every single one of these flips is interrupted, which is obviously huge. And all of these battlecopters are like the saddest units in the world now. Like the defense here can be a lot stronger. And the bite from these medium tanks that are going to be coming is going to be lessened as well. And then also, obviously, your Winter Fury is still super close as well. So if he goes in too deep, you have your medium tanks coming in, you have your battlecopters coming in. Like the second Winter Fury is going to be there as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can use my copter. I can't sacrifice it against anything, but I can hit a medium tank and get a good chunk of charge. And just, if he ever takes it out, the copter, then I immediately get Winter Fury. So that copter is like there. That copter equals Winter Fury. Whatever happens to it.
And so does this medium tank, right? Like you can fully charge this medium tank, and because again, he does anything this medium tank, you just get Winter Fury. So yeah, that 1-2 punch means you're going to get it here within 2 turns. Build another medium tank to defend, but yeah, this really takes the teeth out of his attack, at least for a single turn here. This was some interesting defensive ideas that we were talking about. So this whole wall looks a little suspect, but because of Winter Fury, it's stronger than what you think it is. Even if he pops Max Blast here, there's not a world where he can reach either of these anti-airs or the medium tank on the base because of the wall that we have here. So we made sure we knew what we were doing here. Again, mainly because these anti-air can't do anything. So it's really just like these 2 medium tanks that have any threat to do damage on this turn. And with this wall, they can't reach any of the big 3 units that would matter.
Yeah, I think I would have wanted to use a copter to attack one of the medium tanks, but there was a way that he could like...
There's a way he could get to this artillery.
Yeah, he can take that out, and then like with a max blast, he can't really injure it or something like that. Can't remember.
This artillery would have gone down without the battlecopter placement, and it felt needed because like obviously you just have a great matchup against medium tanks.
Yeah, and we're just trying to be safer. Instead of just racing in. Now there goes a com tower up.
Yeah, now we see the pressure down here at the bottom left. I think there's a world here where maybe you put the tank over here to provide some even more pressure, but again, you're just kind of going for the defensive style of like, this whole area is going to fall here now within a couple turns, for sure.
And the worst thing is that now you can just flip over to the other CO.
Yeah, so now I'm tagging over to the other one who's going to get a bunch of damage. And the really like crazy idea here is that obviously it's going to be Humita's turn next, but if he doesn't get it on this turn, so they're going to have to deal with a full slate of 2 turns for themselves of snow. And then if Humita gets it, not this turn, but the next round, it's going to be another 2 full turns of snow. And then after that, it's going to be 2 turns of rain, and then probably another 2 turns of rain. So this cycle that we're about to start here is 4 continuous turns for each CO of global damage and annoying weather. So even if we have to deal with it a little bit, it's going to be even worse for the JTQWNs.
Yeah, it'd be like day 15, 16, 17, literally 4 turns in a row of global damage. So anything at 10 is going to go down to 2 over the course of 4 turns, which is insane. Plus all the weather, movement denial.
Yeah. So we did see some attacks here by the Mouth of JTQWN. He does go for some join caps, and then we have the biggest mistake of the game, I would say, of the Mouth. He builds a lander here, which we were told was a misclick. I would believe it. I don't know why he was ever touching this port. There was nothing he was ever supposed to be building from this port.
Are you saying he did a misclick? It was on purpose?
I'm saying that these medium tanks were maybe put in some questionable territories that allowed us to get a Winter Fury that was pretty devastating. No, I believe he misclicked. But yeah, this was, I would say, a very interesting board state what we were about to get in. I think the next couple turns were going to be very unfun for the JTQWNs. But as a result of the lander build here, and really just having this attack having no more legs, like he's not getting my base. He maybe is going to get some of these flips, but again, this global damage is going to be brutal. And then you're going to get all these flips back. Like, we're probably going to go back to another like even board state where we have a good advantage. But yeah, we don't see that.
His army is going to get wiped out by global damage, honestly.
Yeah, assuredly. But we don't see that. The hand of JTQWN resigns, and then the mouth of JTQWN resigns after that. So myself and Humita have won the game. We have beaten JTQWN, and the spoils of our battle. Great for everyone here is we get to have JTQWN on the Comm Tower podcast.
Let's freaking go.
That'll be a very exciting match to see. I won't say whether we have recorded that yet or not, but it's going to be a lot of fun coming up here in the future. Hopefully we'll get this video first, and then the podcast shortly after that, and we'll finally get to learn some about the most mysterious man in all of Advanced Wars by Web, I would say.
Do you think that he wanted to be on the podcast, and that's why he resigns? He was like, okay, maybe I'll
just build a cheeky little lander and then hit the resign button.
the lander buy was like his ticket, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah. I think to some extent he maybe wanted to be on the podcast just by allowing quadruple global damage. Like that was yeah. And then maybe in the mid game he was like, "Oh, I'm winning too much. Let me just put a medium tank in range here." But yeah, very interesting game. I would say I'm of the personal belief maybe JTQWN wanted to talk more than he was letting on. But yeah, very fun game.
Yeah, totally. It took us a while to finish, but not that long. Honestly, JTQWN played pretty fast. I was surprised that he plays so fast. Like we were planning our turns quite a bit, and it's like, okay, end, and then 5 minutes later, well, maybe not 5 minutes later, but literally like half a day later, boom, like it was our turn again. It's like, dang it, this guy, he's good.
We see 39 days for the hand, 36 days for the mouth, 29 for Humita, and 9 for me.
9 days for you? Dang.
Well, so to be fair, what would happen a lot is it'd be mouth hand, and then I would be like thinking up my turn and sending it to Humita, like, okay, here's what I'm thinking for both of us. And then like we would submit that, and then we had kind of already talked about what we maybe wanted to do for you as well during my time as well. So, but yes, it's still crazy how fast he was playing for sure.
Yeah.
That's that next level of strength in Elo to just not only be amazing with your moves, but doing it quick as well. And that's what makes them such good live players as well.
Yeah, I guess I was wondering if you had any thoughts of what he could have done differently, or if it really was doomed to lose against the Olaf Drake.
I think he probably played as well as he could have. I think literally the deciding factor was the misposition of this medium tank. Because I think if he had held off away, because he allowed my tanks to sacrifice in. That's like the huge change here. If he didn't allow me to sacrifice just one more turn, this port was falling, this city was falling, this city was falling. Like a lot of very important flips would have happened, and that would have been really devastating. Because even if we get the 4 turns of global damage like we're talking about, it still would have been like 12k income for me and like 21 for Eagle.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's okay for us, but it's not good in any circumstances. Like it's gonna take us forever to get those properties back.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think honestly he had a very strong chance of winning just for going for your area. Because if he could take out your HQ, perhaps with a max blast, a lightning strike, and just wipe you out and get the HQ cap, then we just lost. So he had a very strong and very real chance of winning. Just perhaps allowing that sack into the global damage was into the realm or the path that we wanted, right? To start chaining those global damages. But he had done such a good job, such a precise, like surgical attacks here and moving and front switching, and just I guess it kind of shows you how OP just global damage is, because one misstep like that and it's downhill.
Yeah. I mean, this game definitely, we were not winning in this exact sports state off of one global damage, but it's not just one, it's 3 more that are rapidly coming. That is the nail in the coffin.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think if like we had one global damage and then a normal CO, it would have been a very different story. Although still 2 global damages is pretty strong. But the quadruple is just ridiculous.
Just a little bit broken. But yeah, I think you knew that coming in. So
yeah, for sure.
With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is MansaMusa.
My name is Humita.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time. All right. Bye, guys.